Capricorn, hi, welcome back to Cardinal Fire Tarot. This is going to be your December 2023 reading, but first, a couple of announcements. If you are a subscriber to the channel, you may have noticed that I haven't been posting the weekly all signs check-ins. The end of the year is a very busy time for me, as it is with most people, holidays, family, work gets busier, all that good stuff. So, probably not going to start those up for a couple more months. But I am going to be doing end of the year like wrap up videos or summarize your year videos sometime in December. I don't have a date on that yet, but at some point I will be doing that. Also, make sure that you're following me on Instagram and TikTok because I post daily on both of those. And if you like my reading style and you are interested in booking a personal reading with me, you can find all that information at cardinalfiretarot.com. So, with that, I think that's everything. So let's go ahead and get started. If you hear background noises, I apologize. It's the dog and the cat. All right, I'm going to start by pulling an overall energy for the reading from this oracle deck here. All right, so the overall energy for your reading is awaken. Go ahead and pull some tarot with that. Right. So let me see what we have. It looks like you have really been on a path of like stepping into who you are truly meant to be, like your purpose here on this earth and this timeline. Like you've really stepped into seeking that information. And I think it's led you back to your emotions and to your heart space, which is not always the easiest for earth signs to access and whatnot. So I'm sure it's been a little bit of a struggle trying to, you know, just define your emotions and define what that means for you. But let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Overall energy for the reading is the star, or not the star, sorry, is awaken, but I was looking at the star card when I said that because I'm just so drawn, to how the awaken card has stars in the background, like the star card. So, you're awakening to your path, to where you are heading in this life. So the recent past, the star, that's where you start figuring out, your healing and growth journey and what that looks like for you and what direction you're heading. Then in the current energy, we have the Queen of Cups. You are really opening up to your heart space and finding a level of acceptance there. The Queen speaks to feminine energy, and feminine is more of, instead of doing, it's being. It's a lot, it doesn't have a lot of action with it. So you're just opening up to the acceptance of your emotions and where you are. And then in the near future, we have the Page of Cups. I'm not entirely sure yet what this is. If you hit like a road bump along the way, and you have to you're taking steps forward, but then you have to take a couple back to then to continue taking more forward. Or if perhaps something new comes up and you aren't prepared for this experience. We'll figure out more when we clarify. Then in the energy that surrounds you, we have the Wheel of Fortune. This is this is directly tied with the star. So you're stepping into your purpose, your path, and in doing so, you are changing the trajectory of your life by vibrating at a higher frequency, staying true to your authentic self, um, by having goals that you're moving towards, whatever it is, that in turn is going to manifest a new reality for you. And then in your challenge, sorry, you have the 5 of Cups. There's a level of grief in this transition, which change always comes with grief, even if it's change for the better, because you're still having to let go of something, you're still having to say goodbye. And so it's this grieving where you were, the person you were, the people that were around you. I don't know exactly what it is, the situation, but it's that level of carrying that heavy grief and working through it. But in your strength, you have the Chariot. That's making decisions based off what your heart is telling you. That is following your inner guide and your intuition and letting that be the map that leads your way. So let's go ahead and give some clarifiers. I want to start by clarifying awaken in the overall energy. All right, clarifying awaken. We have the Star, the Hanged Man, and the Ace of Wands. That is big energy. That is big major arcana energy. So you, again, is just reiterating the fact that you are on your path. You are actively making choices towards the person who you want to be. And in doing so, I'm guessing that you have a perspective shift in a whole lot of areas in your life. Because that's what happens when you start actually analyzing and you start to realize like where you could shift your energy for better outcomes. It's the same as like taking accountability, right? So life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. And if you're in a situation that you don't like, what role do you have? You know? Which I know can be a triggering statement to a lot of people, because a lot of people are like, I didn't ask for this. I understand how frustrating that can feel, but you always have at least some little bit of a role. If you can just, put your finger on it. And then the Ace of Wands, which is you are following your passion and you are setting out in a new direction with a new beginning, which is just amazing. So this awakening process looks like it's pretty big energy, which with all the signs that I've done December readings for so far, the overall theme for the month of December seems to be like prioritizing yourself. So I don't know if that's what you're awakening to is your like worth and how to prioritize you. I haven't actually seen anything in the cards that would make me think that yet, but that just seems to be, I keep getting that over and over and over with these December readings. All right, let's go ahead and clarify the star in the recent past. So clarifying the star, we have the Two of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. So it's like you knew that you wanted to set out and make some changes in your life, but you had no idea where to start and you didn't want to give anything up in the process. Which is, sorry, hold on one second. My dog bumped the camera. Okay. Which is, I mean, natural, right? It would be so nice if we could just snap our fingers and have results. But unfortunately, we have to actually put in the work. So I feel like in your recent past, you were very like financially stable already. It's more like, where do I go from here? And am I really willing to give up anything to get there? You know, it was kind of like just an unsure energy. Um, but let's go ahead and clarify the Queen of Cups in your current energy. All right, so clarifying the Queen of Cups, we have the Queen of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. So you're honoring your emotions and you're honoring your motivation, your spark, your drive. And in doing so, you're taking action within that passion, that motivation, which is what we were talking about over here, is like being willing to start new, right? In this fire energy. And then we've got the Five of Pentacles, which you've got now the Four to the Five of Pentacles. And so we were talking back here about the Four being unwilling to let go. And then this is when you had to let go. And now it feels like you have nothing, which isn't true. You have to make space for the universe to then, deliver new. But that was your challenge, remember? The Five of Cups, the grieving process that comes with these changes. So even though you're not seeing like tangible results yet, it still doesn't mean that your efforts aren't successful. And it also doesn't mean that you should turn back around. So let's go ahead and get some clarifiers on the Page of Cups in your near future. Okay, so clarifying the Page of Cups, we have the Seven of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. A lot of you are not going to like what I'm about to say, and I'm going to say it anyways. The Seven of Swords coming out with the Page of Cups and the Five of Wands, it's it's like you're convincing yourself that whatever XYZ is okay. It's an energy of like there's like a word on the tip of my tongue that I can't think of. But yeah, it's like disillusioning yourself. It's like convincing yourself that what you're doing is okay and making excuses when in reality it's actually stepping backwards as opposed to stepping forward. However, it also comes out with the Knight of Cups. So while it is messy and it isn't linear healing, there's still movement forward and it's still attached to your heart space. So that means that you're still making progress, especially because this is the Capricorn reading and you guys are earth signs. You guys tend to be a lot more grounded, a lot more logical, a lot more methodical, kind of like air signs. You guys, I kind of in my brain, I lump water and fire and air and earth. Not that they're exactly the same, but they just give me the similar vibes. But you're still moving forward and you're still taking your emotions with you. And because of that, you're still making progress, even if it isn't linear. But this is just something to be aware of coming up if you start justifying. When I couldn't think of the word earlier, it was justifying. When you start justifying your actions and you start making excuses and convincing yourself that it's okay, that's a big red flag. But it's very hard to have that much self-awareness, right? It's kind of simple to see when other people are doing it, but when you're like right here next to the situation, doesn't always it isn't always that obvious. Let's go ahead and clarify the Wheel of Fortune in the energy that's surrounding you. All right, clarifying the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Seven of Cups, the Lovers, and the Page of Wands. You're manifesting options, which is essentially what manifesting is, right? It's you are projecting what you want into the universe, and the universe is then reciprocating it back, which then in turn creates options, and you get to choose, right? But you're creating options. And in doing so, you're finding yourself stuck having to make a lot of decisions. The lovers obviously can speak to like a romantic couple, but it also can just speak to duality and decision making and masculine versus feminine and those kind of things. So it's like your fate lies in your hands. As corny as that sounds, you are in charge of your fate. So, knowing that, then are you making progress or are you standing still? You know? Let's go ahead and clarify the Five of Cups in your challenge. All right, so clarifying the Five of Cups, we have the Five of Cups again, the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Sun. I mean, it's what we've already said, but as you move towards your authentic self, as you move towards who you are supposed to be in your highest potential and your happiness, as you move towards all this, you have to grieve what gets left back here, which is what you were so scared of letting go of. So it's going to be a difficult grieving process. This isn't an easy thing to say goodbye to. Whether it's just um, a sense of stability that you're having to let go of, if it's, the safe environment, not in that you're moving into an unsafe, but you're moving into the unknown. And that can be scary, right? And so just the known, I guess, moving away from what you know, what's familiar. Um, Also just people, places, activities, all that stuff. You no longer you no longer want to come home and sit in front of the TV for 4 hours and watch television and then shower and go to bed and then wake up and go to work the next day. So you get to grieve that version of you. And from the outside looking in, you'd be like, well, of course that's the better. You're better for it now. Why are you sad? But when you're in it, it feels completely different. Let's go ahead and clarify the Chariot in your strength. right. Clarifying the Chariot, we have the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the World. Okay, so this can speak to a multitude of things. For a lot of you, there's a divine partnership coming along. The Chariot as a card of love, movement forward within love. Then you've got the King and Queen coming out in the same suit. And not only is it the same suit, it's your suit, Capricorn. Pentacles. This is your energy. So either it's a divine partnership that's coming in that is just really going to bolster your strength and your success and your progress, or it's the fact that you are balancing your masculine and feminine energies together in order to make a more like well-rounded whole version of yourself, right? And then it comes with the Ace of Pentacles and the World. So that stability that you thought you lost back here, it's the beginning of something new. And with that beginning comes the closing of an old chapter. So this is a big month for you, Capricorn. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have, I think, 6 major arcanas on the table. So yeah, big month. And just remember that progress is progress. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling, and don't be afraid to be proud of yourself. And that's what I have. So if you resonate with this reading, I would really appreciate it if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, and then also just let me know down below in the comments. And make sure to be keeping an eye out for your yearly recap reading. It'll be coming out sometime this month. And I'll see you next time. Bye.